Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to explain about my how I received my panic attacks, or how I got my panic attacks and anxiety from trauma from 2022 through 2023. So it started off with just me being pregnant and everything was well, and it was time for my son to be due, and I had a great delivery, great labor and delivery. Everything was good. My son was born naturally and healthy. And then after I think 2 weeks of him being born, is the symptoms that started. Is the symptoms that started of him. Is it recording? Okay, yeah, it is. It started with his symptoms of crying, um, from the moment he wakes up, and the moment till he went to bed or till nighttime. Even past that, he would cry at 15, 16 hours a day, crying in pain, not just regular crying, but crying, screaming, his body getting stiff. This went on till he was like 3 months, 6 months, 8 months old. It took us a year, me and his dad, to figure out what was going on and to find someone that would actually help us. So we live in Alabama. Um, we went to 6 different doctors or hospitals in our city and in our state. We went to other cities, and I was about to book a flight to Boston's Children's Hospital because I heard that's the best hospital for children, like in America, I believe. Um, because none of the doctors that we seen, it was like 6 or 7 doctors we seen, and we seen a specialist, a gastroenterologist specialist. Even he didn't even help us at all. His name was Dr. Woodfin in Huntsville. And I don't know if it was a race thing or what it was, but the moment I took my son in there when he was just a couple months old, I took him in with my mom to the specialist, and then Dr. Woodfin came in and said, "So what's going on? What's the problem going on with the child? He looks fine to me." My son was asleep in my mom or my arms, which rarely happens. And that just, from the start there, that really ticked me off. Like, I'm here because of a reason, not just because my son is okay and he's sleeping. You see him for like a second, he's sleeping, and then you assume. And then I told him everything that was going on and the symptoms and stuff. And then I was already emotional, so I kind of teared up when I told him the symptoms. And then he got my son and put him on the bed or table, whatever that thing's called in the clinic. And he checked his heart, pushed on his stomach a bit, and that was it. And he was like, "Is he throwing up or what? What else? Anything going on?" I said, "No, he's just crying and screaming in pain. Um, arches his back, screams like something's hurting, and drinks milk, but like he drinks like every little bit every so often." Well, he was like, "Well, I don't think there's anything going on with him." I don't know what was his exact words, but he's like, "I can't," like, he was basically saying there's nothing wrong and I can't help you, which ticked me off. And he had this grin on his face after he said that, and I was tearing up. He had like this grin on his face, like it just made me mad. But it took us at least 8, maybe 10 months. Sorry, my baby walked in. He's watching TV. I have my door open so I can hear him and go check on him every minute. But we left that specialist, and I left a bad review for him, to be honest. He was just not it. And then we also went to Birmingham Hospital, Children's Hospital, which is a big hospital. They couldn't figure it out either. Even if she was a specialist, I believe, too, that we saw over there. They would just call my son fussy, gassy, maybe a lot of air in his tummy, and that's it. We went to other ones, how I said, 6 or 7 doctors, and then we went to another doctor, I believe, like dentist doctor, because if you know about tongue ties in children, that could cause a lot of crying or colic, which is a lot of crying. So we went in there and we told the dentist doctor my son's symptoms. I think my son was 5 months old, maybe. I don't remember. We had my son's tongue tie lasered, and then his right here too. I don't know what's the string called of your the upper one. We got that laser too, with hopes of his crying to go away or his pain to go away. And 2 weeks, a month we waited, he's still pretty much the same. So I just felt bad when we went to go do that and he didn't have to go through all of that, which breaks my heart now and back then. But I had to try it to see if that was the cause of him being in pain. But that wasn't it. Finally, I posted on a Facebook mom group, and I posted my son's symptoms and a video of him crying in pain. Oh yeah, and the symptoms were crying viciously in pain 12 hours a day, sleeping very little, hiccups, a lot of drooling, body being stiff, arching his back, not drinking his milk or formula normal, like a normal child. Like when I would feed him, he would be like, I need to insert a video, or I don't know if I have one, but when I would feed him, you know how you feed your baby and you're like giving them milk like this? He would not just relax. He won't be relaxed when he's drinking it, only for like a minute. Then he'll start like, I'm feeding him and he'll start arching up like that. And I was feeding him. So I just knew something was not normal. And also, he would arch his back in pain. Like arch, like arch back a lot. And I finally posted on there, and then I think a day later, I had a lot of comments, and then I had different types of comments. But one stood out to me a little bit, and it was spelled GERD, G-E-R-D. Searched it up on Google, and that's the lady that commented that. I reached out to her and asked for information about her and what that means. She told me her twins had it and everything. And so it was like called, instead of acid reflux, it was called silent acid reflux, because they would not throw up or anything. The acid would go up their throat and go back down, burning them, feeling really uncomfortable. So that was my son's diagnosis. They recommended me to an online specialist. And I was suspicious, and I didn't know if I had to, I didn't know if I wanted to trust her, the specialist, because she was online.